I got it.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. I want to thank everyone for coming out. I appreciate you all on a cool November for coming out. The dinner is very casual. You know, we're not having a party here tonight. Tomorrow there's Dirt Festival. I think there's a party at Dynasty that we'll be going to, or a few of us will be going to. I'm not sure I'm going to make it, but a few of us will be going to. But I wanted to just say a few words about the website. We're celebrating 16 years online. Sometimes I look back, I just can't believe, you know, we got this far. And many of you here in the room is part of the reason why we've been able to sustain for 16 years. One of the first stories, and I'm not going to stay up here long, okay, because it might kick us out. I think you have to close at 10 o'clock, and I know some of you, yes, Carlene, you want to party, so. But just a few of the words and a few things I want to mention. There are a few people here that came in from out of town that we have an online forum on the website, and that's been like a community. It's been a community of people. Before there was Facebook, before there was MySpace, before there was all these other little communities, there was these little things called forums, boards, and we had one of those on our website. And I can tell you, the forum, that community that was on Jamaicans.com is one of the best that was out there. Still is, and
Yeah, man.
and that community has grown, and there's things that have happened behind the scenes. So one of the things I don't even want to talk about. But yes, I won't let go any of the secrets. However, some of the things I want to mention is, out of that forum, I believe there were 3 or 4 marriages. People who met on the forum and got married. Okay, I understand there are a few children. Okay. But putting that aside, there are some romances that blossom, but there are some true friendships that happened through the forum. There's one right here. There's a few people here that they met online and they became friends. One particular story that really touched me was there was one lady that was sick. She was on the forum. She's in she's in the United States. No one could figure out what was going on with her. And then one of the other ladies on the website, who was one of the moderators, she hunted her down, found out she was in the hospital, and called her in the hospital to talk to her, see how she was doing, etc., etc. And these are the type of stories that happen on the forum. And I never foresee that happening. It's not out of me, it's because of the community and how the community is there. Now, one of the other things that happened was this. Some of you may not remember this, some of you may, but there was a tech bubble. Just like you had this housing bubble that burst, you had a tech bubble called a .com bubble that burst. Now, when that happened, Jamaicans.com was in kind of dire straits in terms of advertisers left, and there wasn't a lot of income coming in. However, the internet kept going. Even though there was a .com bubble, the technologies kept moving, the internet kept growing. And I remember getting to the point where I said, listen, I have to scale back certain things. And the people on the forum said, no, you're not scaling back anything here. So what they did was, in different parts of the country, from Canada, New York, Connecticut, they had get-togethers. They had bashments. So what they had was they had these fundraising parties. And at the end of those fundraising parties, they said, Xavier, we want to pay for your hosting services for the full year. And that's what this community did to keep Jamaicans.com alive. So I want to just thank you all for doing that. So, I can't say enough about how the community has helped. No, there's some people here, and if I forget some, I'm just going to look around the room. Don't get offended if I forget anyone else, but try to introduce people as they came in, okay? My sister, Donna over here, she used to, in the early days of the website, she was one of the people that used to write the news on Jamaicans.com, okay? now one of the people that I will say has kind of influenced me, she may not have known this, I invited her here today, is Peggy. Okay, Peggy is from Reggae Report, and Reggae Report is one of the first magazines that not only touched on Jamaican reggae music but also on the culture. Okay, it was one of the magazines you could pick up, and you know it was a quality magazine, and she was consistent. And before I had Jamaicans.com, I had a publication called Enough Respect, which was very different. But I always admired someone who had consistency, and Peggy had consistency, and she writes for us occasionally. Okay, I have over here Mr. Jeffrey, who is online and who has, and you may have written for Jamaicans.com a few times. Okay, consistent. He has a blog. Let me look around the room. My cousin here, Holly. When she was in Jamaica and I needed news, I don't know if you remember the guys on the forum when there were hurricanes going on, and I'd be up all night and they'd be sending me the news from Jamaica about hurricane, and I'd be talking to her on the phone trying to figure out what's going on, and she'd tell me, then I'd post it online so people know. So, what was that?
That's underground reporting.
Underground, yes. Underground reporting. Looking around again, you have Louis here, who has been one of the first bloggers on Jamaicans.com, you know, very controversial at times.